I remember my dad used to be like that. And I'm talking about my mom and dad. They're great people, but they're such good examples because I lived with them and saw all this stuff going on. And in retrospect, I could see their relationship transform and grow. My dad would have kind of a sharp temper. And if somebody knocked something over, like if he knocked something over, maybe you've all been like this. If he knocked something over, he'd immediately get mad at himself. And then he'd find a way to blame my mother for it. It was, oh, she wasn't even there. But when you're a kid, you just go, oh yeah, mom did that, but then you'd go, well, dad did it, but why does he blame her? Because it's the dynamic we do. The dynamic is always you knock something over. I just the other day, I knocked over the orange juice and it spilled. And when at a table, it's got that crease in the middle, you don't want the juice going down the crease. Oh, what a mess. Then you got to pull the table apart. You got to clean the thing. So it's like, oh, damn, why did I do that? I shouldn't have reached over like that. And then it's like, this table is crooked. If the table wasn't crooked and those crappy little cups, why did Paul buy these? He should get those better cups, and then you go through, it did, the table, the Paul, there's no water. The water table is gone because of the drought. And so your house is actually going down because it's sinking into the ground. The drought was there. The state of California, Jerry Brown's not letting me water. I can just watch. I can think of lots of people to blame, but I saw what happened first. I first blame myself and quickly I go to a million other things. Oh, this. Because the Course would say, this is what the ego does. It teaches you not to look there. It says it knows that it wants to keep you guilty. First off, you made a mistake. Bad you. Now, if it lets you stay there, you wouldn't keep the ego because the ego would make you feel so bad about yourself. So very, very quickly, you go to the table's crooked. Paul bought the wrong glasses. My house is sinking. Jerry Brown is a jerk. And that's where we go with that. But you watch it, you'll find yourself doing this. Watch yourself. It's fun. It's really amazing. But it's all about keeping guilt going. That's the Course. The Course would say the ego's doctrine is seek but do not find, never find the answer, and stay guilty as heck. But if you were innocent, because you can't, if you were guilty, you would give up the ego. If you really felt that guilt, you'd say, this is intolerable. I don't want this anymore. And you'd come running back to God. Now the ego says, quick, get it off of you, make it somebody else's fault. Because that way we keep it on them and we're okay. We're okay. And that's why that next paragraph says, it's very important in this, that we look at this. That second paragraph, it says, very simply, the attempt to make guilty is always directed against God. So we can quickly see our own guilt. I made a mistake. No, it's everybody else's fault. No, it's really God's fault for getting me into this mess. What happened? Well, God abandoned me, right? Kicked me out of Eden.
Made a drought.
All sorts of things. If you go back to the very basic, something happened we don't know, but it's his fault for not forgiving me and kicking me out. Yep. So that's really what the Course says. We go back to our own sense of deep unworthiness, which is more than just, I'm a klutz, I knocked over my orange juice. Now it's there must be something innately wrong with me to cause me to be so hated by God. But he didn't play his part. He wasn't a good father. He wasn't a good mother. He should have loved me. Why didn't he love me? Something must be missing inside of me. Other people's lives are blessed. Why am I a mess? So now we go back to, and that's kind of what it's saying. It says, we make God guilty. We see him as guilty for leaving us alone and unprotected. But what the Course would say is, that never happened. That's only in your own mind. That's why these lessons that affirm, let me remember I am one with God. I feel the love of God within me now. I need but call and he will answer me. These affirmative thoughts of the truth about us have to begin to take the place of all the self-doubt that we have, all the guilt we hold on to, and all the guilt that we project. That's why looking at these relationships, these special love relationships, where you're meeting my needs until you don't meet my needs, and then I get upset with you, or our special hate relationships, if I simply get rid of that jerk or that circumstance or situation, I'll be so much better off. We see this happen in countries all the time. We get rid of one dictator, and what happens? We just get another one. We handle one terrorist group, and what happens? We just get another one. It was like Al-Qaeda, and now we've got ISIS. We defeat that one, and we get another one. So treating the form never works. We're going to have to treat at the level of the content. So we need to look at these things. We need to pull it back and say, God has never abandoned us, even though this is the basis, it says, and we may not rationally understand it. It's the basis of the guilty feelings we have and pull into these special relationships. This thought that God has abandoned us. How terrible. How could he do that? Why does the Course constantly tell you, here's what you need to replace the lie with? Let me remember I am one with God. I feel the love of God within me now. These kinds of thoughts, even though we don't understand it, are meeting a deeper need inside of us than we can even gather. It's affecting us on a deeper level. So look at the third paragraph. This one is all about, and kind of jump down. There's a lot of stuff in here, but jump down to the, say like the fourth line there. It says, no one considers it bizarre to love and hate together. And even those who believe that hate is sin merely feel guilty, but do not correct it. And we're like that, right? One minute you love that person closest to you, and the next minute you just want to wring their neck. So we see this easy conflict between us.